Brandon Walker. Hello. How you guys doing? Let me welcome in the YouTube chat first because that's who I care about. If you show up to this YouTube chat every day, I will shout you out because I love you. I love you. Even when I disagree with you, I love you. I have love in my heart for you. I'm Brandon Walker. I host the Brandon Walker College Football Show. Hello, Tom Kovalik, Jacob Pham, D. Jonesy, Colin Kuzia, Rob Wooden, Lander, Gojira, Mark Struck, Patrick Reeder, Jacob Pham, Trent Flagler, Jay Candy, is that John Candy? Graham Stoltz, Devin, Mark Struck, Zach Webb, Casey Waller, Jordan Barnes, Joseph Herbert, Chris Hertz, Christopher Todd, on and on and on, Jack, Sam Norman, Justin Nobile, Seamus Shields, Colin Moore, J.P. Kojin, Kevin Harkins, Alex Prunier, Benjamin Russ, Davis Painter. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, which means I have my top 10 for the week. But it isn't just any top 10 because that's boring. That's stupid. Everybody knows Georgia's number one right now, or Alabama, or Ohio State. Those are your three that are elite, in my opinion. And then it goes down from there. We still overrate some teams, like Oklahoma's overrated where they are. Oklahoma State's overrated where they are. But that'll all come out in the wash. All these teams will be exposed. I got my top 10 teams, and this week it is my top 10 teams that are better than you think they are. You could call it underrated if you want, but to me, some of these teams are rated, but they're better than you think they are. TJ, if you can pull that list up, and it's really just 10 teams, so it doesn't have to be this big unveil or big anything. But I'm just going to go down the list. And my number one team, by the way, you can call in, 888-STOOL22. And if you're on the YouTube chat and you ever wanted to call in, I have open lines right now. I never have open lines, ever. Right now I have line 3, 4, 5, and 10 look open. The phone lines might be down, but 3, 4, 5, and 10 are open. So if you want to get in, there went 10. 10 just left. So 10 is taken up. So 3, 4, and 5 are still open. If you want to call 888-STOOL22, 888 is STOOL22. Here are my 10 teams that are better than you think they are. Number one on this list, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Folks, we are conditioned to think, Ohio State's easily the best team in that division, and then we decide early who the second best team is. But should we? Michigan doesn't play anybody until like October. They shouldn't even count for this discussion until mid-October. Michigan State's got an interesting mountain to climb this week, and Penn State's at Auburn. Penn State won on the road at Purdue. I don't think Purdue's a bad football team. If you look down the list, I got them. They both played in the opening week, but because Purdue lost, they have to fight from behind of the eyeball. They have to fight from behind in everybody's court of public opinion because they lost in week one. Well, Penn State's good. And Sean Clifford has not been bad this year. Singleton's a star. They got defensive stars. It's a very good football team. It's a very good football team. They're going to be in the mix for that second spot behind Ohio State in the Big Ten East. And if Ohio State doesn't fix some problems they got to go to Happy Valley. Penn State's somebody to fucking watch. Adam Wesco says, Brandon loves to bash PSU, though. Here's the thing, guys. I'm not one of these ESPN personalities that will say something and then let you say whatever. You whiny-ass bitches, Adam. Don't bring that soft-ass, punk-ass bullshit here. Oh, Brandon hates our team. Brandon loves to bash our team. Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you that your team is good. I'm going on about your team. I'm speaking glowingly about our team. Yeah, but he hates us. Shut the fuck up. Just because somebody on TV or the internet or in a newspaper says, oh, you might lose this week, or oh, maybe your team's not great. Oh, he hates us. I'm a little punk-ass bitch. Adam, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want that soft-ass crybaby shit here. Idiot.
Fuck Penn State.
Fuck Penn State. But they're better. They're probably, I think they could be a top 10. To Adam Wesco, P's sitting down. And Adam Wesco's mother is probably a saint. Adam Wesco. Wesco cheat on Adam. That's probably what his girlfriend's saying. What the fuck is going on in the hallway?
Who knows, man? There's a lot happening right there. Hard to explain.
I wouldn't even. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. Don't get canceled. Don't get canceled. By the way, that Wesco joke was funny. Number 1 is Penn State. Number 2, you better fucking be paying attention. Because Will Rogers is coming. Will Rogers, Heisman odds right now, plus 10,000. He has 800 yards, 9 touchdowns through 2 games. I don't like to talk about my team, so I'm not going to talk about him anymore, but just pay attention. And if we lose this Saturday, forget this ever happened. Number 3 is Syracuse. Syracuse beat the piss out of Louisville. Syracuse beat the piss out of UConn. These are not good teams. Louisville's not a team that Syracuse traditionally is going to beat the piss out of. Syracuse has a good college quarterback. He's not going to play in the NFL, Garrett Schrader. He's a good college quarterback. They got a good defense. Sean Tucker's one of the best running backs in the country, one of the top 5 to 7 running backs in the country. You better pay attention to Syracuse. They host Purdue this weekend. They could be 3-0. This could be a 5-0 team headed to a game against NC State in the Dome. Number 4, Kansas State. I shouldn't even have to tell you this. Kansas State you should have a future on Kansas State to win the Big 12. Texas has injury issues with Quinn Ewers. I don't think Oklahoma's as good as they've been. I don't think Oklahoma State's as good as they've been. I don't think Baylor's as good as they've been. Kansas State is just laying right there for the taking. You need to have a future. They have a Heisman candidate, Deuce Vaughn. Their quarterback's playing well, and their defense is loaded with dudes. Number 5, Purdue. I've already mentioned them. People throw out a team that loses early so easily like idiots. Like, we don't have a team lose early and come back and be great every single year. Oregon State beat the shit out of Boise State, won a road game at Fresno State. They're 2-0 with one of the tougher schedules so far in the country. Oregon State is laying in wait for USC in a couple weeks in Corvallis. Also, Corvallis, one of the more fun town names to say in college football. Stillwater, best town names in college football. You guys can do this with me. Number 1 is Stillwater, I think. Corvallis is way up there. College Station's a good name for a place. College
Like
Station.
Norman.
Nah, Norman's too plain.
Gainesville.
Tallahassee's fun to say.
Yeah.
Tallahassee's very fun to say. But I think I like Stillwater the best. Stillwater just sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And
I think the Big Ten probably has the worst assortment.
Was the band Stillwater in Almost Famous, or was it Sweetwater? It was Stillwater, right? Stillwater?
Yeah, okay.
The band in Almost Famous?
Sure.
Watch a movie one time. Knoxville? No. Happy Valley? It's not even the name of the town. Blacksburg? That's racist. Manhattan? Sucks. Boca Raton? Yeah, but that's not a college town. I'm talking about college towns.
FAU.
It's not a college town. Boca Raton's not a college town. Stillwater's a college town. Corvallis is a college town.
I don't think Knoxville is then.
Well, Knoxville's a college town.
Isn't it a very big city?
Not that
For
big.
Tennessee?
Not that big.
What's
Tennessee has some big cities. Nashville's big.
Yeah.
Memphis is big. 8-8, still 22. Let me finish out that list. I don't know how I got on an aside. Coral Gables, good one. Oxford, Colin Moore, your mother's a whore. That rhymed. Kansas. I've been preaching Kansas for a year. I've been preaching Lance Leipold for a year. Other national media guys, not that I am a national media guy, but national media guys are catching up to what I said about Kansas 6 months ago. You better get in on them now. You better get in on Kansas now. They're going to be good soon. They might be decent this year. They might be a bowl team this year. Lance Leipold is that fucking dude when it comes to coaching. Minnesota is the best team in the West, and nobody's acting like it. You guys need to act right. Washington State, hand up, all honesty, got trigger happy typing. This should be Washington. I meant Washington here because they're 2-0. They're favored over Michigan State. Michael Penix is playing well. That should be Washington. How do you even do that? How do you do what you're doing? I don't know how you can't edit it. It's just like that? You can do it just like that?
It doesn't actually change what the tweet says, but
Changes the
for visual,
picture?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used to do that to my middle school website and then be like, yo, look at what the middle school website says.
And number 10, this Dennis Bone is an idiot. A&M, question mark? This has Prego written all over it. No, you idiot. Whenever a team loses early, we freak out. Freak the fuck out. Oh, my God. They're terrible. Jimbo. Relax. When they beat Miami this Saturday, and then they beat Arkansas next week, all of a sudden they're 3-1. Things are okay. They're embarrassed. They're hurt. They're down. They're a wounded animal. They're too talented to be that. This isn't the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of the beginning. Watch. A&M will matter this year in football. Oh, no, Brandon, they lost. Yeah, last year I watched them lose to Mississippi State at home with that terrible-ass quarterback, Zach Calzada. You know what they did 7 days later? They beat Alabama's ass. 888-STOOL-22. Does Brandon tweet his own tweets? I've always tweeted my own tweets, Heath Holloway. Always. I don't do my own Instagram or TikTok. I don't draw my own bathwater. I don't lay out my own clothes. Yes, I said bathwater. I like to take baths. What? It's fine. Tell me a man that doesn't like to soak in a nice hot bath. I love a good bath.
Can you talk about...
Showers are stupid anyway. It's just water running down. Yeah, what?
Can you talk about your bet with Josh Pate?
I don't know who that is.
Please.
Eddie Reyna says, if you think A&M is good, you're a bigger mark than AEW fans. This is why you guys are so fucking stupid and you need me. Do y'all not understand that college football is a game of ebbs and flows? That if everything that happened in week 1 was going to happen the rest of the season, everything that happened in week 2 was going to happen the rest of the season, it would be boring. Teams lose, teams rise. Teams lose, teams rise. Only 1 or 2 teams are going to be standing at the end undefeated. Everybody's going to go through peaks and valleys. A&M's in a hell of a valley right now. I'm buying low on them. Watch. Fucking watch. So my bet with Josh Pate, and don't clip this out because I don't want his cult-ass fans getting the... Then I love him. He's so good. He's so good. He's so talented. Like, he doesn't go after teams as much as I want him to, but that's fine. I probably do it way too much, and it hurts my brand. But he knows what he's talking about. He has crystal clear ways of saying what he thinks about college football, and he sees college football as well as anybody nationally. That's Josh Pate. That's who he is. He is incredible. His fans are getting a little Dabo-like. You tweet anything towards him, oh, my God, Brandon, you suck. Brandon, I hate you. Josh Pate, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Relax. Let us break each other's balls. God damn. 888-STOOL-22. 888-STOOL-22. Make a bet with Josh Bray for what? What, am I going to see him in a rap battle? 888-STOOL-22. Is Mo Ibrahim the best running back in the country? Possibly. Sean Tucker's very good, though. Bijan, Travion. You know, these are good running backs, but for my money, I think Mo Ibrahim would be my number 1 pick for college running backs. Josh Pate has CBS money way more than you do. Boy, could you not be any more wrong. Woo! I piss on CBS money. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Brandon, you are awesome. Thank you, Kentucky Fried 94. Man, oh, man. All right. What do you think will happen between Ole Miss and Georgia Tech? I don't know. Hopefully a tornado hits the stadium. Anyway.
So you're not talking about your paid bet?
Do you want to? Why do I have to?
I don't know. I saw it on Twitter. I thought it was interesting.
Me and Josh Pate have a bet because he is too high on a team, and people think I'm too low on a team. Arkansas is 2-0. The bet is 8 games. Well, actually, it's losses. I say Arkansas is going to lose 4 times. He says they will lose less than 4 times. We put a gentleman's $100 on it. Josh Pate knows what he's talking about, except for this. Arkansas is a decent team, pretty good team. They're not a top 10 team in the country. Quarterback can't throw. And they're going to meet SEC teams that can match their physicality. I think their schedule is ridiculously hard. Whoever scheduled them to play BYU is an insane person. That's a loss. I think it's a loss to Alabama. They play at Mississippi State. I'm selfish. I'm biased. They beat us 31-28 last year with a dubious call at the end. We can win that game. Ole Miss can beat them. Sam Pittman has not beaten Auburn yet. He's 0-2 against Auburn. There's losses on that schedule. Trust me. 888-STOOL-22. Richard Poplis, when will you share this podcast with Jeff Nadeau? Fucking never. Work my fucking dick off 12 hours a day to come in here and build a brand. I'm going to share it with Jeff Nadeau, who comes in once a goddamn month. Suck my dick. Also, Jeff Nadeau will be on Pick Central tomorrow. All right, here we go.
Breaking news.
We got breaking news?
Was that not breaking news?
Oh, yeah, Jeff Nadeau will be on Pick Central tomorrow. If you like Pick Central, you're crazy if you do. But if you like Pick Central, you should watch. Kind of sad that Brandon hasn't flipped out on a caller yet, says Rob Wooden. What? How, you mean during the show's life cycle or today? Because we're about to get to the calls now. Here we go. 888-STOOL-22. Line 2. Clay is in Georgia. Hello, Clay.
What's going on, Brandon? Thank you so much for picking up my call. How you doing, man?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing very, very well, Clay. What's up?
So we both know that Tier 1 in SEC is Georgia, Alabama. We don't need to talk about them. You just got done talking about Arkansas. Now we're here to talk about Tier 2, which includes Arkansas. Mm-hmm. This is my opinion, Tennessee, and then Kentucky. And it ends there. Obviously, yeah, Texas.
Stop. Why do you think it ends there?
Why what?
Why do you think Tier 2 ends there?
I think they played well. Are you asking me why am I choosing those teams? Or did you say specific team? I can't really hear that well.
Why did you choose those teams for Tier 2 and only those teams?
Well, we're going to ignore the Texas A&M loss. They deserve Tier 2, but they're obviously better than the rest of the team. But, I mean, Kentucky had a phenomenal game against Florida, given the
Question. You said Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas. Why not Mississippi State? Why not Ole Miss? Go ahead.
I think they're step level above those teams.
Well, you're wrong. That's a dumb take. That was a fun call. That was a dumb call. What puts Tennessee – like, it will shake out. I'm not saying Mississippi State's above those teams. I'm not saying Ole Miss is above those teams. If you're talking Tier 1, it's Alabama, Georgia. If you're talking about the last tier, it's Vanderbilt, Missouri. In between, you're going to find out your Tier 2s and your Tier 3s. A&M, Arkansas, Kentucky, Florida, you still got to put them in the mix. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, maybe LSU plays their way back into it. Those teams are going to be fighting for the Tier 2 spots. I don't care that Arkansas has beaten a average South Carolina team or a maybe average Cincinnati team. Tennessee beat a backup quarterback in overtime. Just relax. Let's see this month play out. 888-STOOL-22. We'll go to line 8. It's Alexander in Knoxville. I think that's in Tennessee. Go, Alexander.
Hi, Brandon. First of all, I just want to say it's been the best thing that could happen this semester is having your show go to YouTube every night and Necessary Roughness go to 3 shows. It's just great to be sitting there studying. I'm a student at UT, studying and being able to listen to y'all basically every night. And I can't wait to see y'all in Knoxville in a week or so.
Yep.
I did have one thing I want to say and then one question. Something I want to say is I was looking on the AP website today, and North Carolina has basically 2 or 3 times the amount of votes for the top 25 as Mississippi State. And that just doesn't make any sense in my mind whatsoever. I mean, North Carolina is 3-0, but they look terrible.
I'm about to I'm about to preach to you about the Associated Press Top 25. I think we should have preseason rankings because why not? They're fun. They get everybody going. They create conversation. That's good. And I think the AP Top 25 is a thing that should exist. The way we vote in the AP Top 25 is the most archaic, stupid fucking thing in the world. Why? We use the wrong voters. There's a whole lot of people out there in new media that are able to watch college football every game, every Saturday, and have an educated opinion on it. The people that are the worst to have an educated opinion on college football are these underpaid, overworked beat writers who have to cover Louisville or Florida or Texas. These beat writers are the ones voting, but they don't get to watch the games. They have to watch the team they're writing about. They only watch – a Texas writer watches Texas. He can't watch the other games. He should not be voting. When you have Notre Dame getting 23 votes in the Associated Press Top 25 after losing at home to Marshall, and they get more votes than Air Force, who would beat Notre Dame by 3 touchdowns, it's fucking stupid. It's a good idea, the poll. The wrong people vote on it. Newspapers are dead. Beat writers are dead. Get rid of them. It isn't a good model for 2022. What's your next point?
All right, and then my other question was, I just want to see, so with the Nebraska coaching position, I could be stupid here, but is Dan Mullen a good hire there?
Dan Mullen's not a good hire there. He's a great hire, but there are probably hires that are better. The name that I say is, and all these lists, by the way, are always wrong. Last year, when when USC had an opening, nobody said the word Lincoln Riley. When LSU had an opening, nobody said Brian Kelly because we just don't think those guys can go. Well, they can. Now, I think Dave Aranda should be the first call Nebraska makes. He's at Baylor. It's not as good a program as Nebraska. He is a very good young coach. He should be the call. Matt Rule is another call that they need to see if he's available. These are guys I would focus on. But Dan Mullen should be in the top 5 calls. But guys like Matt Campbell, he's not any great shakes at Iowa State, so I don't understand why he's on the list. 888 Stool 22. How you guys doing out there? You could replace Paul, Skylar DeFrank. Paul is gum off my fucking shoe. Could Dan Mullen end up at Georgia Tech after this year? That'd be another good one for him. Matt Campbell says Dennis Bone. Dennis Bone just keeps saying dumb shit. Just keep saying dumb shit.
No show tomorrow. Reminder.
I'll tell you that in a minute. Bubs in Iowa. Go ahead. Bubs.
And Bubs are tough.
Bubs, stop.
Yes, Bubs.
I have office trivia for you.
I'm ready. I forgot trivia today, but yes, go ahead.
I have office trivia for you. In the episode trivia, the team, the Einsteins, wins the trivia match. Name the 4 team members of the Einsteins. Go.
Kevin.
1.
Aaron.
2.
Meredith.
3. You're definitely Googling by now, but that's okay.
And Stanley.
No, he went to the car to watch the boats in the river. The answer is Kevin, Aaron, Meredith, and Kelly Kapoor.
Oh, fuck. That was yeah, that's terrible. That's on me.
All right, go.
All right, I want a real answer to this hypothetical, okay? I saw a tweet this weekend, but if you're Jimbo Fisher, like you've said on your show multiple times, you got 5 stars everywhere, but you don't have a quarterback. If you're Jimbo Fisher, do you pick up the phone and do you call Johnny Manziel? He had a tweet this weekend saying, hey, I got 2 years left of eligibility. I honestly don't know why you wouldn't. I know he probably meant that as a joke, but that's a serious question. I want a serious answer from you.
Yeah, but Bubs, he doesn't actually have 2 years of eligibility left.
Yeah, Johnny does.
No, but he doesn't.
How does he not?
Because he played professional football.
But don't you get to keep your eligibility? Like even, or is that a dumb question?
Listen, you're my guy. If that was the case, every NFL player who retires at like 30 or 35 would go back for if they went pro as a junior, you'd have all kind of players like at 35, 40 years old coming back and playing one more year at their alma mater. But no, you go pro, it's over. You go to the draft, it's over.
All right. Well, I'm due one dumb question a month. I appreciate your time, Brandon.
You're still the greatest caller in the history of this show.
I do wonder if the NIL rule change has sort of changed.
By the way,
that at all.
It would be incredible.
Yeah.
If guys who came out as juniors or redshirt sophomores went and played in the league 5-10 years and then had 2 years left and came back, oh my God, how great would that be?
I mean, nobody's. I wonder if it's allowed in some loophole because of the NIL change.
Well,
no. Nobody would try it because it's like it's not embarrassing, but there's like a different level of competition. If you're 30 and didn't have a successful career, are you going to get ramped back up to I don't know.
Imagine we're coming into next year and A&M has the number one recruiting class in the country going their sophomore year, and they got Johnny Manziel as their quarterback. That's must-watch TV.
Yeah, it would benefit everybody.
That's so awesome.
I wonder if it could happen.
It can't, but it should. It should. 8-8 still 20. LeBron James, who just never went to college, comes and plays 4 years from age 41 to 45 at Ohio State.
Yeah, J.R. Smith in golf is what people are saying. He's playing college
Different
golf.
sport.
Okay, so
different sport.
Could LeBron play tight end at Ohio State?
Like Greg Paulus played 4 years of basketball at Duke and went and played 1 year at Syracuse. Like there is that loophole, but once you make money in a sport, that sport's out for you.
LeBron retires from the NBA and plays tight end at Ohio State.
Would be sick. RJ and PA, go.
What's up, Brendan? Hair's looking great today.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you about, this is a very early overreaction, but you kind of mentioned on Unnecessary Roughness the other day how, maybe the gap between the top programs and the middle and lower programs is kind of closing. Do you think with that happening and kind of the craziness we've seen in the first couple of weeks, do you think there's a possibility we could see a 2-loss team in the playoff this year, or even another group of 5 with BYU if they go undefeated?
I predicted a 2-loss team in the playoff this year. Now it's going to end up being the wrong team. I predicted Georgia to make the playoff with 2 losses. I don't know that I see 2 losses on their schedule anymore after watching them play, but maybe you switch that. Maybe could Alabama lose in the regular season at Arkansas, and then could they lose in the championship game to Georgia and still make it? Yeah, I think so. I think there's going to be an absence of quality 1-loss teams, and that gives BYU a chance. I got them at 6th in the end of the playoff. Like I think we're going to have a 2-loss playoff team because I think there's a lot of parity this year, and there's not going to be a whole lot of teams that get through the season with 1 loss. Thank you very much for the call. 888 Stool 22. We'll go to line 1. Caden in Fort Worth. That's in Texas. Go.
Yo, Brandon. What's up, playa?
What's up, Playboy?
Hey, dude. Just straight kicking it. Hey, I wanted to get your take, obviously, my school being one of them, unfortunately, with one of these viral videos of just a really terrible college football game day tradition, whatever you want to call it. With the exception of what those weirdos in Oxford do, not allowing you to cook meat on game day in the Grove, what is your opinion? In your opinion, what is the worst, most cringiest game day tradition or kind of cheer, whatever you could kind of compare to what those two lame fan bases, including ours, did? And then I have a gambling pick.
Well, I'm such a mark for college football. I just don't even look at any traditions as really lame. I mean, obviously the one that takes the cake is everything A&M does. Like they might own the 3 or 4 lamest traditions in college football. The yell leaders, the yell practice, the what they do in the stands, the milkman outfits. Like A&M might own the 3 or 4. Turn into the chat, see if anybody says, "Oh, the sex bots are here." I wonder. There are people out there that would say cowbells are lame, but they're assholes. They don't know what they're talking about. Alabama's got some shit. Alabama's got some lame ass shit. Let me marinate on that. Let me marinate on that one a little bit. Thank you very much. 888 still. He said he had a gambling pick and I hung up on him. I'm sorry. 888 Stool 22. The Sooner wagon, for as many times as it falls, that could be on there. Clemson rubbing the rock. I will say this. Of all the traditions I've seen in person, the most underwhelming is that tiny-ass rock Clemson rubs and then that little-ass hill they run down. I thought it would be much more impressive. It's not. Georgia barking. Vandy whistle guy. Well, that's baseball. 8 stool 22. 6:30. Line 3. It's Chris in Fort Lauderdale. I love Colorado. Go, Chris.
Hey, Brian. How's it going? I hope you're having a great day. I got a question about the Big 12. Who is the future of the Big 12 when Texas and Oklahoma leaves? Do we see another powerhouse control the Big 12?
I think two teams you got to watch, and they're not two teams you expect me to say here. I think Oklahoma State is a natural. Oklahoma State, hell, they're a good-ass program in the Big 12 now. And I think when Oklahoma leaves, they're going to take ownership, and it's going to be their conference. I think not even just in football, but across the board, they're constantly good, and they're usually pretty good in basketball. They're usually pretty good in baseball. They're good in pretty much everything. So I think they're a well-run athletic department. The second one is off the beaten path. I think the Houston Cougars are a team that can rise in the next 10 to 15 years to really, really being a big deal. They own a metro area. The fourth largest metro area in this country is Houston, and they own it. And when they're in the Big 12 and A&M, Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, and Texas no longer have the conference affiliation advantage over them, they're going to get more four-star guys, more five-star guys, not just the Ed Olivers who grew up there. They're going to get 4- and 5-star guys. And Houston, I think, is my pick to be the dominant program in the Big 12 very soon, because they have done very, very well without a conference advantage, and when they get it, I think they're going to be outstanding. 888 Stool 22. Let me tell you how dumb y'all are. Justin Noble says no tradition at Houston. Brandon Garbo says he said Houston, laugh out loud. Y'all are so fucking stupid and used to the same old stuff. It doesn't matter if there's tradition at Houston. There is tradition. They've been a very good G5 program for their entire existence, and now they have a seat at the table. Open your mind. This isn't the Feinbaum show. I don't want hillbillies calling in. 888 Stool 22. We go to line 4. Cooper in Auburn, go ahead.
Hey, going back to the list from the beginning, love the respect for the Beavs. One of the gutsiest play calls last week. 4th and goal, no time on the clock, ran in for a touchdown. The only problem, their stadium is being renovated this year, so it's only at half capacity. So the USC game, they'll get blown out. Other one. Instead of A&M at 10, Utah is being overlooked like hell right now. They're still a good team. They get USC at home. USC could lose that game and then not go to the Pac-12 championship. Would an 11-1 USC be a playoff contender?
Yeah, sure would. 11-1 USC. First of all, they got the number one thing you need to be a playoff contender. They have name value. They have eyeballs. And they can say that doesn't matter, but, yeah, it fucking does. And they would have a schedule that is at least decent. So yeah, USC. You mean USC or Utah? Because it seemed like you were talking about Utah, then you switched to USC.
Well, Utah would then be a playoff contender because they only have one loss, but they'd have the loss.
They both finished 11-1. Which one would be the playoff contender?
What'd you say?
Nothing. I just.
I have an answer on the eligibility
Please
question.
talk.
So this is from.
This was never a question in my mind.
Val Almendarez on Twitter. Your NCAA eligibility is starting in the mid-2000s is on a 5-year eligibility clock, barring medical red shirts or religious reasons. So you have to complete your eligibility within 5 years of starting it. That's why you don't have guys like Kaepernick or Brandon Whedon who try to go pro somewhere and then come back. Has to be done within 5 years.
Okay.
And I believe Val because...
Thank God we figured that out.
I believe him.
Thank God. JP is in Houston. That's fitting. Hello, JP.
King of the South. Am I on?
Yep.
Perfect. Good to be here. All right. I have 2 quick points. First of all, A&M has a great tradition, 12th man. That being said, they have a lot of stupid traditions. I went there And it's just like when Texas tried to ban the whole horns down. You should never complain about something you don't like, because then it blows up. Just completely blows up. So it was stupid of us. But my main point and my main question is this. There's a lot of talk about Jimbo not being the guy, but I would ask, who would you rather have as a coach of your program? Because the only coaches I can think of would be Nick Saban, not going anywhere. Dabo just got paid. He's not going anywhere. Kirby Smart, he's not going anywhere. And maybe Urban Meyer. So my whole point is, I don't think there's a lot of college coaches out there, or even NFL coaches, or any coaches in general, who you would want to bring in who could be better quality than Jimbo. And that's,
I mean, I got to be honest. It seems like you lack vision. You're only looking at guys who have won national titles. You're only looking at guys with bigger names than Jimbo. The name doesn't fucking matter. It's 2022. If you can get the guys, but your scheme sucks, you're going to be behind. Now, I think the demise of Jimbo is greatly exaggerated. He's going to be fine. But there are other guys out there you could get who could win national titles at A&M. And I know I keep going back to him, but imagine if Dave Aranda were at A&M instead of Baylor. If he were somewhere that can recruit and do NIL, like, he's a better coach than Jimbo Fisher, in my opinion. So there are guys out there who haven't yet gotten there that are better. All right. Okay. Well, you didn't answer fast enough. That was a very slow answer. 888 still 22. But Connor Harkey, J.R. Smith's clock never started because he never played college ball. So his clock never started. BFW order steaks rare because he thinks that makes him exclusive. I go medium rare. Medium rare steak. I like it closer to rare than medium too. I went to RP Prime in Mahawa the other day. Whew, so good. Pricey, cost me $400, but we had the porterhouse for $2. God damn, it was good.
You eat steak a lot in the city?
I've eaten at Smith & Walensky's in the city. That's the only one.
I went to the one that's like connected to MSG recently before a fight night. Pretty good.
I went to Scarpetta. That's my answer. It's not a steakhouse. It's an Italian place. Scott Conant's place. It's good. I don't get to the city as much as I'd like. 888 still 22. Thomas in Chicago, go.
Hey, Brian, I got two college football questions. My first one is, if A&M does let Jimbo go, who would they replace? And then part two of that is, who's like the next Lincoln Riley to go to USC, or Brian Kelly to go to LSU? And then my second question is, with the 12 playoff format, do you think more teams are going to be like Michigan and schedule like Hawaii and Colorado State so they can get?
I hope not. Michigan's a bunch of pussies. Michigan's a bunch of pussies for their schedule. The next Jimbo Fisher, the next Brian Kelly and Lincoln Riley to go from a great school to a great school is going to be Dabo when he leaves Clemson to take the Alabama job when Saban retires. That's easy. Again, Jimbo's fine, so I don't know why we would name a replacement there, but my choice to replace him is Dave Aranda. I've said the last call I asked the same question, so there you go. 888 still 22. Best steak in the city got to be Luger's. 888 still 22. Line 9. Andrew in Florida. Go, Andrew.
Yeah, Brandon, you got me?
I do.
Okay, so appreciated the tweet there that you tweeted out a little less than an hour ago about Penn State being like the least talked about team that actually could do some damage.
Right.
So I graduated from Penn State in 2018, and in an argument with my friends because like they think that like Drew Aller should be the guy. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Sean Clifford, to me, has been very, very good, and your boy Jack Mack has been awesome. Your boy Jack Mack has commented on Sean Clifford, who has been awesome, and like he accounted for five touchdowns, just one interception against Purdue, and was very, very crisp against Ohio. So like I don't know, what do you think about that? Like it seems like Penn State's pretty legitimate, right?
Well, I think Penn State has a chance to be a very good team. They got good running backs. They got a very good defense. And Clifford, is better than people think. Like, he scored 35 against Purdue and won. He didn't play that well. It wasn't that beautiful, but he won. I think he had 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions last year. His numbers are a lot better than you think. And he has the bonus, a 5-star freshman behind him, but that just means Clifford knows he can't fuck up. He has to play well. He's getting pushed. That's how life should work. You're getting pushed by somebody good behind you, so you raise your game. Penn State's nasty this year. Penn State has a chance to be that second team in the Big Ten East and have a puncher's chance to beat Ohio State. Thank you very much for the call. Hold on. Just relax. You can go, caller.
Andrew from Florida. Andrew from Florida.
Yeah, what?
You're on.
That was him. He knows he's on. That's who was on already. Take him off. God. Fuck. I almost hurt my whole left side. 88 Stool 22. Line 2. This Fetty in Chicago. Hello.
Brandon Walker, the hardest working man at Barstool. Just got to say, your work ethic is impeccable.
Thank you.
It was a privilege to be able to see you guys in Iowa. We made the trip out there. Sorry you got cans thrown at you. Was not a fair thing to happen. But you took it like a man because you are a man of the people. It was incredible. My question was already taken earlier. It was, what's the pathway to USC's chances to the playoff? You answered it beautifully.
Yeah.
So I've been scrambling for a new question.
Sure.
And my question, I guess, is out of the Power 5 schools, which are your favorite schools from each conference? Apologize for the weak question, but when yours gets taken, you got to do what you got to do.
For me, I identify the Mississippi States of every conference. Who's the good people that are in a tough spot. Like I look in the Big 12, I gotta empathize with Texas Tech. Like pretty much anywhere Mike Leach coached. Like Washington State, they're rural, they're out there, they're in a state with a bunch of shitty elitists. I like Washington State. I like Purdue in the Big 10. They just feel like that. I'd be a Purdue fan if I were in the Big 10. In the ACC, I always thought I'd be a Virginia Tech fan if I were up there. Like they seem like the Mississippi State of the ACC. Thank you very much for the call. 888 Stool 22. What was that answer, Katie? He always is, but he works hard, so we're here. What was that?
Something about you being insufferable because Mississippi State's going to be very good this year.
Jimmy Davis. Is Ford County, Mississippi a fictional place? Yes. It's the fictional place created by John Grisham. It has the town Clanton and Caraway. It has Jake Brigance. It's a fictional place. Ford County is not a county in Mississippi. There are 82 counties in Mississippi. I can name all 82. I'm not going to right now, but I could. Ford County, not a county in Mississippi, but it's the county in the excellent John Grisham novels. Love talking Ford County. Love it.
That would be at least somewhat of a niche, interesting video if you just sat there and named every county in the state.
I could do that. So I should do there's a Sporkle quiz where you can click on every county. It says, Adams, click here. I could do that. Could I do that on got to show a Sporkle quiz on?
Yeah, but that would probably be very boring to our non-Mississippi viewers.
Well, what about what you said? That seems like that would be just as boring.
If you just tweeted it out, then the people that wanted to see it would see it. Have you ever done the Sporkle quiz where it's clicking on states but there's no outlines?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's hard.
It's electric.
Yeah.
It usually takes me about 2 tries. On the third one, I can usually get it.
New Hampshire and Vermont relentlessly fuck me up.
I'm good on them. Always remember this. Vermont and left end with a T.
Okay. That's all I need to put. Not like my Asperger's. Or
you
whatever.
Always worry which one's on the left, which one's on the right. Left and Vermont end with a T. I just realized right also ends with a T.
Vermont looks like.
Oh hell no!
Oh hell no! Whatever. Doesn't matter. I had it. Dylan and Bowling Green, go.
Hey, Brendan, I'm going to ask you this question because I respect you and your opinion, but a couple of my friends have been chirping because they saw those bullcrap odds on coaches going certain places, and I'm a Kentucky fan, and shoot me down if I'm wrong, but I personally think Stoops is crazy if he goes to Nebraska.
Listen, anytime you hear like an SEC coach going to Nebraska, you have to examine something. Is Nebraska in 2022 a better opportunity than the SEC coach has now? And for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss and for Mark Stoops at Kentucky, the answer is no. You have to rebuild Nebraska. You have to reshape their expectations. You have to reshape everything about their program. They can no longer, like they did in the 90s, they can't go to Florida and get a player that Miami or Florida or Alabama won't. They can't go to Texas and get a player that Texas or A&M or Oklahoma won't. They have to rebuild everything. Mark Stoops has built his own path, carved his own way. He has built his own program. He doesn't have to go build another one. He's already done it. Stoops is a no to Nebraska. Kiffin's a no to Nebraska. Stoops is right to stay exactly where he is.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. 8-8, still 22. John in Mississippi, go.
Yeah, this is a question about Mississippi State. Why is Mississippi State not ranked and Ole Miss is? I feel like Ole Miss has proven nothing.
Yeah.
And also, how nervous are you about the LSU game this weekend?
Well, I'm preposterously nervous. I'm terribly nervous. That's just a terrifying place for us to go play. Second, Ole Miss is ranked because they went 10-2 last year and were very good, and Lane Kiffin is back. So they have the residuals of having a great year last year, so they get pumped up high this year, even though they've proven nothing. Those are two easy questions to answer. I'm absolutely terrified. I'm like a cat in a room full of rocking chairs right now. I just do not. I'm terrified of this weekend. 8-8, still 22, because their tail would get caught in the rocking chair. To answer that question. Sometimes I just say Southern things. Why is Texas A&M still ranked? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. What about Barry Odom for Nebraska? He's the reason Sam Pittman's good. Line 10. Michael in state of Iowa. Hello.
Hey, Brandon. First of all, great show in Iowa City. But I just want to talk about Iowa State. I called in July and kind of said that I thought they were somebody that people were overlooking, underrated, mostly because I've been watching Hunter Deckers for years and I know how good he is.
Sure.
I was very impressed, obviously, with their offense against Iowa. They only had 10 points, but they were able to move up and down the field, and I think Iowa has a really good defense. So I thought it was a great performance. Now, we don't really know how great their defense is because they've, if we're being honest, played two FCS offenses.
Yep.
So I think looking at the schedule, having Baylor, Kansas State, and Oklahoma at home and getting to play Texas on the road after they play Oklahoma, I think they have a chance to maybe make a run. Now, it's certainly a stretch to think that they'll finish atop the conference, but I really think people keep overlooking them, and I think Hunter Deckers is a huge improvement over Brock Purdy.
Well, I would preach caution because I like Campbell, I like Deckers, I like the team, but beating Iowa is going to be a lot different than going and winning these road games in the Big 12, where you actually have competent offenses and competent coaches. You said FCS offense for Iowa. That's an insult to FCS teams everywhere because they can at least try to look like they're athletic, and Iowa can't fucking do it. 8-8, still 22. Let's see. Can we get some stat? The whole show is how Brandon feels. Heath Holloway. So you want stats. Heath Holloway, you're a fucking Tennessee fan that wants stats. That's what you want? I throw numbers at you. You're going to go cross-eyed and blind. You're a Tennessee fan. 8-8, still 22. Also, you might not be a Tennessee fan. Just the H is orange. I like Iowa State, but possibly the worst colors in D1? No, Iowa's worst colors.
Purdue's worse.
Yeah, with that
it's not
that muted
it's not
black
gold.
And that ugly gold, that brown mustard gold. Yeah.
It's like almost gray.
Is the cereal industry kind of peaked? I feel like we've had the same top 5 forever. That's a good take. We haven't had a hot new cereal in a minute. The same cereals that were big when you were a kid are big now.
It's because sugar isn't like people care now.
I don't know, buddy. We haven't really reinvented anything with cereal. I feel like if we were creative, we can get in there and do something in the cereal game.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch does like a alt flavor every once in a while, but the OG is just always better than all of them.
Line 1, Brad in Michigan, go.
Hey, Brandon. how many times Michigan's out-of-conference schedule is being a pussy when it's like the first time in, I don't know, however fucking long they haven't had a big game. They played in Notre Dame for, 18 straight years. They jump into Florida. You know how hard it is to schedule on like a 3-4 year, notice?
Brad. First of all, you've been snuffing. You've been huffing speedboat fumes or something. You tell me how hard it is to schedule. Well, why can Ohio State schedule? Why can Alabama schedule? Why can everybody else schedule? But Michigan, it's just too hard to schedule for Michigan.
They scheduled Notre Dame after Michigan did. Michigan had to go out and get Hawaii. They got Arkansas.
That's fine. But you Colorado State, UConn, and Hawaii is fucking embarrassing.
But I'll go with this. Why? What's the point? If your goal is to get in the playoff, why?
It's actually not a bad point.
That's not why I called.
Not a bad point. Go.
Why? The rankings. I think the rankings to start the year should be what ended last year. I don't know why we change them, because all we do is go, all right, last year we proved Georgia was the best team. Yeah. Why did Alabama jump them? They look like shit.
Because Georgia, I like that they jumped them, because we looked at Alabama and said we think they're better, and Georgia didn't. Georgia shouldn't be this good. Georgia lost 15 players in the NFL draft, more than anybody ever. They shouldn't be this good. This is crazy they're this good. Also, just hey, wait, time. Time. Based on the chime that your car made, you drive a Ford.
I do drive a Ford.
Nailed it. Thank you, Brad. 88 Stool 22. Caden has driven from Fort Worth to San Antonio. Hello, Caden.
Different Caden, but what's going on, Brandon?
Hello.
Hey, a couple thoughts. First off, how do you feel about the tortillas getting thrown at Tech games? I'm a big Tech fan. Tradition-wise, how does it rank up there?
Not very high. I don't really care about it.
Okay, that's fair. Second, honest thoughts about Joe McGuire going into NC State, pulling the upset. I know it's a new team.
Yeah, I
let us back into this year, but
I like Texas Tech to keep this game close. I know they're on a backup quarterback right now, but he's not bad, and he's had plenty of starting experience. And NC State didn't look great against East Carolina. I like this to be a very close game. I'm not sure you can win the game, but I like it close. Thank you very much. 888 Stool 22. A lot of people saying bring back wrestling. Wrestling should come back.
You want to break some more news?
I will when the time comes. Baby! 888 Stool 22. Nothing has happened. 888 Stool 22. Hello, Mike in PA.
Yeah, hey, I was wondering, 7-game series, Harbaugh versus James Franklin, who you taking to run the team? Who you taking in that series?
Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh. Good call. 888 Stool 22, line 5. Pete in Cincy. Go, Pete.
Hey, Brandon. So I'm a Ohio State fan, and I'm calling about the new rules with the playoff expansion where the teams 5 through 12, the higher seeds, will be hosting a home game if they elect for those new playoff games. And our athletic director, Gene Smith, has said even if Ohio State were to be able to host one of those home games, he still might consider playing in Indianapolis because of the indoor environments there at Lucas Oil and not having to account for the weather. And although the shoe is a great atmosphere and is one of the best home field advantages in the game, I also don't disagree with him on the fact that we can control the weather with our high-powered offense under
I got to be honest. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Well, no, listen. You can disagree with me there, but what I wanted to ask is there any other teams you can think of off the top of your head that might consider not hosting a home game for the playoff and going somewhere else?
Oh yeah, okay. maybe Miami. I mean, they don't have much of a home field advantage anyway, but I don't know what their advantage would be to. Oh, I can see LSU. I can see LSU moving to the Superdome. That's still a home field advantage for them anyway. Listen, I know. Is Ohio State weather really something you want to work that is so bad you want to move a playoff game to another state?
I wouldn't say necessarily, but it is pretty shitty here in Ohio.
Also, let's say you're playing. Give me a team you would be playing in the playoff. Just say a team you think you'd be playing in the playoff.
I would say if it's a 5 versus 12 situation, say it's Ohio State versus Baylor.
Baylor, coming from Texas, coming north, leaving their 70-degree weather and coming and playing in 35-degree rain. That's a huge advantage for Ohio State.
That is the instance where you want to keep it in Ohio, but say there's a team from up north coming, or say it is that team up north coming down. Maybe we do move it to Lucas Oil.
That would be – listen, it's not you saying it. It's your guy. If you were to move a home game from Ohio Stadium to Indianapolis because you're scared of the weather to play Michigan, fire that athletic director tonight. Fire him, and fire everybody fire the whole program into the sun. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. There will be no show tomorrow night. My presence is needed at the upfronts. I am the heart and soul of Barstool Sports. I am the king of college football. I have to be there to sell fucking tickets. Literally, I'm just going to be handing out tickets. And, well, I had one more announcement. Oh, the Barstool Mini Golf, which was 1 day of mini golf. It gets 6 episodes. Episode 1 starts right after this. Episode 1 on the Barstool channels. And this is my last show of the day, so I can throw my voice right now. I've already done Unnecessary Roughness. I got time for one more call. Who should it be? Andrew wants to talk about North Dakota State. No. Yeah, we'll talk to Cameron in Lexington. Cam, go.
What's up, Brandon?
Hello.
I don't mean to suck your dick a little bit here, but you are the king of the South. Always will be, and always have been.
Thank you.
I wanted to get your thoughts on UK Ole Miss. I'm planning on going down, and what kind of game you think that'd be, and if you think Kentucky even has a shot at beating Georgia this year.
Beating Georgia, probably not, and that's not an insult. I don't think anybody has a shot at beating Georgia in the SEC East. They're just an 800-pound gorilla with a chainsaw for a dick right now, so it's just hard to deal with them. Can you beat Ole Miss? Yeah. I think Kentucky can beat everybody on the schedule not named Georgia. I don't think they will, but I think they can. I would like to see Levis come a little bit further along. Like he showed like one incredible throw against Florida and then disappeared. But yeah, I think based on what we see out of Ole Miss against Georgia Tech, I think Kentucky was going to be favored against Ole Miss, and I could see a 10-2 season happening for Kentucky. I could see an 8-4 season happening for Kentucky, but passing the first test has to make you feel really, really, really fucking good.
I appreciate the call.
Thank you very much. So, sorry, Chris in Dallas and everybody else. 801-901-832-419. Apologize. Mini golf is up next. I'll be back Thursday.